joining us today.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Shall we begin?
Yes, yeah, ma'am. Please, please.
Okay, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. As you all know, National Legal Services Day was first started by Supreme Court of India in 1995 to provide help and support to the poor sections of the society. NSS provides service to the society, while law is to protect the rights of the citizen. And for a law student, being an NSS member is like a cherry on the top of the cake because we can work more diligently towards the betterment of the society. I, on behalf of our NSS unit of Advocate Barasaheb College, Aptev College of Law, wholeheartedly welcome you all, our principal in charge, Vaishali Gurav ma'am, our program officer, Vishal Sindhi sir, and our chief guest, Sri Yatin Game sir, to the webinar in understanding the objective of legal services in India and the importance of free legal aid. Now, I would like to give a brief description of the eminent personality, Sri Yatin Game sir. Sir completed his LLM from Pune University and practiced as an advocate in the High Court of Bombay from 2002. After all the hard work, he joined as a judge in 2006 and worked in Dhule, Nandurbar, Nagpur, Satara. Later, he was promoted in 2016 and was posted at Mumbai. Sir was deputed as a secretary of Mumbai District Legal Services Authority in 2017 and is still continuing his noble work at DLSA. One of the missions of DLSA has been to legally empower the marginalized and excluded groups of the society by providing effective legal representation, legal literacy, and awareness, and bridging the gaps between the literacy available and benefits of the entitled beneficiary. Sri Gamesh sir, being the secretary of DLSA, has been continuing to spread the good work by spreading awareness in the seminars on various topics like anti-tagging and cybercrime. Our college has been fortunate enough to hear his views on alternate dispute resolution in the webinar earlier. And now, again, we are blessed to have him with us to share his valuable insights on Legal Services Day. Now, I would like to invite the fellow NSS volunteer, Apeksha Jadhav, to guide us all through the introduction of the topic and significance of this special day. Over to you, Apeksha.
Thank you, Nivi. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Good afternoon, everyone. Legal Services Day is celebrated every year on 9th of November in all state authorities. The Supreme Court of India started to celebrate this day for the first time in year 1995 all across the country to offer help and support to the poor and weaker section of the society that may be women, disabled persons, scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, human trafficking as well as natural calamities victims. National Legal Services Day commemorates the enactment of the Indian Legal Services Authorities Act 1987. On 11th of October 1987, the Act was enacted and it took effect on 9th of November 1995. The Indian National Legal Services Authority NALSA was constituted under its provisions on December 5, 1995. NALSA undertook its activities including free legal aid and advice to the needy, disposal of cases through mediation and amicable settlements. It was a unique effort to minimize dependency load of Indian courts as well as to afford access to justice to needy litigants. To commemorate the occasion, the day of enactment was first celebrated in 1995 as National Legal Services Day. The aim of celebrating this day is to offer free of charge proficient legal services to the weaker and vulnerable section of the society, ensure just judicial system which is easily approachable to all the citizens of India. It also organized the Lok Adalats to make safe the legal operations and encourage the righteousness of people on the equality basis. Lok Adalat organize such campaigns every year by the Legal Services Authorities. The Lok Adalat arbitration and conciliation are some of the tools that the judicial system uses for alternate dispute resolution, and the importance of these tools are promoted through creating awareness on this day. India is a country where there is a large wealth gap between different sections of the society, and such campaigns help to bridge that gap to a certain extent. Illiteracy and social conditioning are also responsible for such backwardness. One has to remember that independent judiciary is extremely important not just to save constitution and democratic values, but the whole societal structure on which India is built. Every citizen of the country, irrespective of the caste, creed, religion, race, or wealth, should have access to free and fair judicial system. Thank you. Over to you, Nidhi.
Thank you so much, Apeksha, for such beautiful explanation of this special day. I would now like to mention to everyone that the feedback form would be sent at the end of the webinar. So kindly don't send the messages in the chat box. You'll get a feedback form link, and after you fill it, you will receive the certificates. Moving on, I would now request our principal, Vaishali Gurav ma'am, to address the audience and share her valuable insights on the topic.
Thank you, Nidhi. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes, you're.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I take this opportunity, first of all, to wholeheartedly welcome Honorable Shri Yatin Game sir, the Secretary of Mumbai District Legal Services Authority. I also take this opportunity to wish Game sir, Professor Vishal Shinde sir, all my NSS volunteers, as well as all the students attending this program, a very happy National Legal Services Day. To start with, I would like to make a mention here, especially about Game sir. As Nidhi rightly mentioned, sir has taken charge as the secretary of the Mumbai District Legal Services Authority. And ever since he has taken charge as secretary, I think he has been working so passionately for the legal services that I'm not aware, but he has conducted n number of programs, especially with the colleges, keeping in mind the service part of the legal field. I think before Game sir came, the authority was not so much involved with colleges. And as law students, each and every law student must be aware that law is an instrument of social change. If our services do not help the society, if they do not help us to bring about a change for the betterment of the society, then all your first class or your moot court activities or all your awards are, I feel, a waste. So our management as well as all the faculty of our college, we strongly believe that as students of law, you must be able to serve the society. It is absolutely true that money is important. As a professional, you should be able to practice law, you should be working in corporates, but at the same time, you should also bear the responsibility. I would call it a social responsibility of uplifting our society by helping them in our legal services. And I'm very glad that we have someone like Game sir who always contacts law students and is in touch with all the law colleges and who helps us, guides us, and supports us for all such activities. I'm sure all of you all remember that on 23rd September, we had conducted a seminar, a webinar on alternate dispute resolution, wherein Honorable Lordship Syed sir and Honorable Retired Ladyship Roshan Dalvi Madam had conducted the webinar on alternate dispute resolution and mediation, which is very much the need of our. So I would like to advise, of course, after Game sir also mentions to all the students that it is imperative that we shift to alternate dispute resolution systems because only litigation is being overburdened, and also bear in mind the social responsibility as law students through the Legal Services Authority. Also, I would like to mention that the Legal Services Authorities Act is very much a part of the syllabus of our studies. The second year practical exam of the 3 years course and the fourth year practical exam of the 5 years course comprises in their syllabus of this particular act. Hence, it is imperative and extremely important that all the students, especially of these classes, attentively listen to Game sir for his lecture today. I'm also very glad that our NSS unit of ABACL College has been formed, and our NSS unit under the able guidance of Professor Vishal Shinde sir is very actively involved in a lot of social services. I would also like to inform Yatin Game sir that we have conducted already a lot of activities online because of the corona, and we have just started last year September, sir. So within a period of 1 year we have conducted very many activities along with the residential campus also, which we had conducted in February. So all our NSS volunteers are very actively involved in serving the society. On that note, I would like to congratulate all our NSS volunteers and Professor Vishal Shinde sir. And I also take this opportunity to once again thank Honorable Shri Yatin Game sir for making it possible and gracing this webinar today. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your enlightening speech. To move the session forward, I would request the audience to maintain the decorum of during the webinar. Kindly keep your mics on mute and respect the speakers. Also, if you all have any questions, please send it on the chat box to Isha Matre. All the questions will be addressed at the end of the session. Now, I would like to invite our chief guest, Shri Yatin Game sir, to share his wisdom among us. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Neha. Am I audible?
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Good afternoon to all. First of all, I would like to thanks the National Social Service working in Apte Law College for taking initiative to have this program on the pretext of the National Legal Services Day. The National Social Service and Legal Services Authority, these two units of the governments are working for empowerment of the marginalized class of the society. That's why it is very important that the volunteers who are working under the National Social Service also a part of the Legal Services Authority in this webinar. And I think this is a good initiative that with the help of all of you, we can reach to the common persons who are not only in need of the assistance, but who also in need of the legal assistance for protecting their rights. First of all, I must thanks to Vaishali Guru ma'am, who is the principal of the Apte Law College, as well as I also thanks to Sir Sindeshar, who is assistant professor in the college, the entire team of the professors, as well as the management members, my dear students, and the postgraduate students of the Tata Institute of Social Science, who are at present working with the Legal Services Authority on the scheme of creating awareness in people with the help of the different schemes. So friends, first of all, I would like to give well wishes to all of you on the pretext of the Legal Services Day. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes,
Can you hear
are.
me, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Hello, yes, you are audible, sir.
I can't hear you.
Hello? Hello? Am I audible? Can anyone?
Yes, Nidhi, you are. Sir, we can hear you.
I think sir is having some technical issues. Kindly wait for a few minutes. So you're on mute right now.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Sorry, due to some internet problem, was disconnected.
No
So,
problem.
friends, we are celebrating the Legal Services Day on the occasion of the Legal Services Day. On as per directions of National Legal Services Authority, the different programs are organized across the country in by the different stakeholders for creating legal awareness. So, the day first, that is on today, that is on 9th November 2020, we are inaugurating this program by way of this webinar through the Apte Law College. So I once again welcome to all of you. Friends, when we are talking about the Legal Services Authority, it is necessary to see the background and history behind the Legal Services Authority, how this Legal Services Authority came into existence. Friends, you are aware that the all of our freedom fighters took initiative for getting the independence to this country. We can say that they have given up their lot for getting independence to India. So after 1947, the move was taken to have some codified books for protecting the rights of the common persons. So on that basis, the our constitutions came into existence. The constitution, we can say, this is the one of the important book of our nations, which ensures to protect the basic rights of the persons by way of the fundamental rights. Our freedom fighters have given this valuable aspects for protecting the rights of the each and every citizens of the India. So after getting independence, after adopting the Indian constitutions, the peoples are more cautious about their rights, and they have started approaching to different government authority as well as court in case of violation of their rights. During that period, the movement was started, and every state had their own policies or scheme for protecting the rights of the marginalized class of the society by providing the different scheme for upgrading their economic and social status, as well as to provide the legal assistance. So there was no uniform, there was no scheme or some rules on uniform basis which would be applicable to all state across the nation. So when this issue came before the government, so it was thought that there is necessary to have some scheme or rules which ensures to provide the legal aid scheme to the weaker section and marginalized class of the society. For that purpose, as per the government, we can say order, the committee was constituted, and the Honorable Justice Bhagwati and Honorable Justice Krishna Iyer were the key persons of this committee. This committee head were studied the situation in all state across the nation, that how the concept of the legal aid scheme has been implemented in all state, as well as what steps have been taken to provide legal assistance to the needy person. So on that basis, the draft was prepared and submitted to the government. So meantime, the government took initiative to incorporate an article under Article 39A of the Indian Constitutions in the year 1976. We can say that this is the first era opened in Indian constitutions, which provides that the state is under obligations to provide the free and free legal aid and assistance to the needy persons. So the Article 39A has been incorporated in the directive principles of the Indian Constitution. So all of you are aware that there is a difference between the directive principles and the fundamental rights. So when it has been incorporated on in caption of the directive principle, then it has been specifically stated under Article 39A that the state shall arrange to provide the free legal aid and assistance to the needy person, marginalized persons. No marginalized class would deprived from securing justice on the ground of economic and social disability. So in short, this is a theme of providing legal assistance to the needy person. So the main hurdle was that it was incorporated under the directive principle. It has not been stated that it is to be considered along with the fundamental right. When this issue came up before Honorable Apex Court in case of protecting the rights of the under trial prisoners, when it came across that the several under trial prisoners in different states where are behind bars, their right to speedy trials have been violated. So in that particular judgment, the Honorable Apex Court had an occasion to discuss that the right to secure justice for knocking the door of the court, for approaching to government should not be limited.
Sir, you got muted, sir.
Hello, am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir, you are audible now.
Yes, yes.
Please continue.
Yes, yes. Thank you. So it was discussed by the Honorable Apex Court that the providing legal aid to the needy persons is the part of the fundamental right. It has been discussed that the Article 21 of our Indian constitutions, which ensure to provide the right to life and personal liberty, the scope of this particular right to live is very wide, and it has also inclusive to have the effective legal assistance at the cost of state. So we can say that this was the great initiative. This is the very important judgment on the basis of which it has been laid down that the right to have the legal assistance to the weaker sections, to the marginalized class, is the part of the fundamental right. And if some class of the marginalized society or weaker section is deprived from securing justice on the ground of the economic disability or social disability, it amounts to violation of the fundamental right. So by the way of Article 39A, the provision has been incorporated for creating the free legal aid to the needy person. The movement was started in the year 1980. One more committee was established, which was headed by the Honorable Justice Bhagwati. The committee was solely established to have we can say that the structures of the legal services authority at national level, there must be some codified law which would be applicable in all states across the nation. That's why the committee again studied the prevalent economic social laws in different states, and in the year 1987, on the basis of recommendations given by this committee, the law that is called as the Legal Services Authority 1987 has came into existence. The Legal Services Authority Act came into existence in the year 1987 with the sole object to provide the legal assistance to the needy persons. Am I audible? Hello, can you hear
Yes,
me?
sir, you're audible, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
Yes, yes. May I proceed?
Yes, yes, sir. Please continue. Yes.
Yes. So in the year 1987, we can say new era opened in the history of the Legal Services Authority. By way of the Legal Services Authority, we got the codified central law, which ensures to provide the free legal assistance to the needy persons, as well as it also ensured that the persons the members of the society, especially those persons who are living in slum area as well as the weaker unit of the society, they shall awaken about their rights. It means to create the legal awareness in society about the laws. So these are the, we can say, in the year 1987, two mottos of the Legal Services Authority: to create legal awareness among this society, and second one, to provide the legal assistance to the needy persons. Then question came, the whether each and every citizen of of this country is entitled to have legal assistance at the cost of state. The answer is no, because basically the act has been incorporated to protect the rights of the marginalized class and weaker section of the society. That's why in section 12 of the Legal Services Authority, it has been incorporated, it has been provided the list of the persons who are entitled to have a legal assistance at the cost of the state. In that particular list, there are 7 categorized persons who are entitled for the legal assistance freely. First one is a woman, irrespective of her financial structure. Second one is the child. Third one is the victims of the natural calamity or we can say the human-made disaster created. Third one is the victims of the we can say that the person who is a disabled person and who is in need of legal assistance. Next category is the members of the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes class, and next one is the persons who is a workman under the work. We can say that the person who is a workman and governed under the codified law. The third one is the next one is the under trial prisoners. This is a very poor group which ensures to provide the legal assistance. Under trial prisoners, those prisoners who are behind bar or who are not able to afford the lawyers, they are also entitled to have the legal assistance at the cost of state. Next one is the person whose annual income is less than 3 lakhs. I'm talking about the Maharashtra, because each state is having the different criteria fixed for the different earning criteria fixed for the for getting the legal assistance. So far as in Maharashtra is concerned, initially it was 75,000. Thereafter it amended and it was fixed as 1.5 lakhs. And at present, the criteria is that the persons whose annual income is less than 3 lakhs rupees is irrespective of his status class, and if he could able to satisfy the authority that his annual income is less than 3 lakhs, then he is entitled for the legal assistance. The next question would be what is meaning of legal assistance and advice? The Legal Services Authority assures to provide the legal assistance. Legal assistance means, as per the Legal Services Authority, the legal assistance has been divided in 2 parts. The first one is to representation before court through the lawyers. This is first one. And second one is to seek the free legal assistance at the cost of state. So far as getting the legal assistance at the cost of state means, suppose we are approaching to the Legal Services Authority, prima facie Legal Services Authority is satisfied that you are the covered under section 12 and you are entitled for the legal assistance. Then your demand will be scrutinized, whether you require to approach the court, you are required to approach the court for protecting your right, or you are just seeking the legal advice. If it came across that you just want the legal advice for the knowledge of your rights, for the knowledge of you or your close persons regarding the particular rights, then our retainer lawyers who are present in Legal Services Authority's office, they provide you the legal advice free of cost. We can say that at this particular stage, you are getting legal advice at the cost of the state freely. Second one is the legal assistance of lawyers for filing the cases or defending cases before court. You are aware that the many persons who are approaching to Legal Services Authority, they require to provide the lawyers for knocking the door of the court. So for that purpose, we are having the team of the panel lawyers who used to draft an application petitions before court, as well as they used to appear on behalf of the under trial prisoners for defending their rights. So you might have questions. Suppose the person approaches to you and he is covered under section 12, whether he is entitled to have the legal assistance immediately. The answer is no. Merely the person is approaching to the Legal Services Authority and he covered under section 12, it doesn't mean that as of right he is entitled for the legal assistance. The answer is that there should be a prima facie case in favor of the person who is approaching to legal services authority. You might have questioned what is meaning of the prima facie case. The prima facie case means you must have genuine case. It should not happen that under the garb of the legal services authority, somebody utilize this platform for filing the frivolous litigation. It means you should make out your prima facie case for knocking the door of the court. In that circumstances only you are getting the legal assistance through the legal services authority. So in short, this is the structures provided under section 12 of the legal services authority. So in this way, from the 1987 onwards, the legal services authority work has been started. You are aware that when any new law came into existence, it takes years to get together for reaching to the common persons for its effective implementation. So from the year 1993, the different activities have been started for the effective implementations of the legal services authority across the nation. So during meantime, the again we can say the new era open in legal services authority act, that the National Legal Services Authority came into existence. You might have questions, when there is a legal services authority, then why the National Legal Services Authority came into existence? What is the purpose behind enacting the National Legal Services Authority in state legal in the legal services authority? Friends, you are aware that the role of the legal services authority is to provide the legal assistance to the needy persons. So normally the providing legal assistance means representation before court, to provide the help of the lawyers for filing cases, to defend the case before the court. So it was felt necessary that there should be some structure at the court level which can work to ensures that there would be a effective implementation of the object of the legal services authority to provide the legal assistance to the needy person. That's why the National Legal Services Authority came into existence. We can say it was the national wide structures by way of the National Legal Services has been created. The National Legal Services Authority, we can say it is the apex body which has been constituted to supervise the all legal services authority which are working in all state as well as district and tehsil level in different part of the countries. So we can say that the National Legal Services Authority is the apex body which has been created with sole object to introduce to make the different policies scheme of the legal services authority which would be implemented on uniform basis in all state across the nation. So first and foremost duty of the National Legal Services Authority was to create some structure which would be implemented in all state of this nation. So on the basis that the National Legal Services has been constituted, and as per the National Legal Services Authority, state level, one more authority has been established, that is called as the State Legal Services Authority. State Legal Services Authority's role is to implement the policies as well as schemes as well as rules which are framed by the National Legal Services Authority for providing the legal assistance to the needy persons. Whatever the decision taken by the National Legal Services Authority, it is duty of the State Legal Services Authority to see that it has to be implemented in effective manner in all districts across the state. Again, at district level, there is one more committee which has been established, that is called as the District Legal Services Authority. So again, what would be a role of the District Legal Services Authority? Those courts which are situated in that particular district, it is duty of District Legal Services Authority to create the platform which ensures to provide the legal assistance to all those persons, needy persons who are approaching to the court for securing justice. Then again, you will find at tehsil level, taluka level, there is one more committee that is called as the Tehsil Legal Services Committee, which ensures to provide the legal assistance at tehsil level. you will find that the national level structure has been created from central to root level, which ensures to provide the legal assistance to the needy person. So the National Legal Services Authority, which is the apex body, which is headed by the Honorable Chief Justice of the India. The Honorable Chief Justice of the India is the patron in chief of the National Legal Services Authority. Thereafter, the senior-most Justice of the Supreme Court is the executive chairman of the National Legal Services Authority. One more, the officers of the district judge cadre is the member secretary of the National Legal Services Authority, and with the coordination of government, the different nominated members are taken on this particular National Legal Services Authority committee to perform the function in true sense. So this is at national level. You will find state level committees also having the head that is called at the concern Honorable Chief Justice of the concern Honorable High Court is the patron in chief of the State Legal Services Authority. The Honorable Justice, who is the next to the Chief Justice, is the executive chairman of this particular committee. And again, the officers of district judge cadre is the ex officio member secretary of this particular committee. At district level, you would find that the chief judge of the district is the chairman of the district legal services committee, just like in Mumbai. Here in Mumbai District Legal Services Authority is headed by the chief judge of the City Civil and Session Court, and the next to the chief judge, there is a secretary who is a judge of the senior division cadre, is the ex officio members of the secretary, as well as others nominated members are working for at district level for implementing the role of the legal services committee. Same committee you would find at the taluka level, which is headed by the taluka judge. So you will find that the structure has been created at court level. Then what would be a role of this committee? You will also find one more committee at Supreme Court level, the Supreme Court Legal Services Committee. This committee is ensured to provide the legal assistance to the persons who covered under Section 12, who approaches to Honorable Supreme Court, who want to file petition before Honorable Supreme Court, or who want to defend his case which is pending before Honorable Supreme Court. Once the Honorable Supreme Court committee is inclined that the person approaching to the committee has the prima facie case, then that particular committee used to provide the legal assistance in the form of the legal advice freely, or legal impanel, we can say that the panel lawyer services are provided to that particular litigant for fighting the case before the Supreme Court. Same type, you will find one more committee as a High Court level, High Court Legal Services Committee. Again, this committee ensures to provide the legal assistance to those litigants who are approaching to the High Court and they can't afford the lawyers, and they are from the weaker section of the society. In short, this is the, we can say that the national level structures which is working from the apex, we can say that the central to root level for effective implementations of the Legal Services Authority. So you will find that the all committee are headed by the honorable respective justice and judges. So this is very important thing that the respected the judicial officers, honorable judicial officers are the ex officio president or the chairmen of the particular committee, and they are try to see that the no person in the jurisdiction of that particular court would deprived from seeking justice only on ground of economic and social disability. So in this way, the working of the Legal Services Authority has been started. The services had been provided for providing the help of the lawyers, for providing the legal assistance. So it was necessary to have the teams of the lawyers. So as per directions of the National Legal Services Authority, every committee has taken initiative to frame the lawyers team, and as per directions given by the National Legal Services Authority, the criteria has been fixed that the lawyers who has completed 3 years standing practice can eligible to impaneled as the legal aid lawyers. He can approach to legal services authority to work for the common person. So once the persons has been impaneled as the legal services authority, the lawyers services of the lawyer can be taken. The litigant approaching to the legal services authority, they provide the lawyers for filing their cases, for defending their cases. Even some retainer lawyer, concept of retainer lawyer is there, that these lawyers are sitting at the legal services authority office. They provide the legal advice to the needy persons. So these are the teams of the lawyers. So far as Mumbai is concerned, we are having the team of the more than 190 lawyers. More than 190 lawyers are working with the legal services authority for the empowerment of the weaker sections. The lawyers are working with us. We may provide them some money, but it doesn't mean that they are our employee and we are their employers. We are taking their services. I must thanks to my each and every lawyers, because they have decided to give something for the society. All of you are aware that the law profession is one of the noble professions, and the every member of this profession is under obligations to protect the rights of the common person, especially the weaker sections of the society. So our lawyers, most of our lawyers are working with the legal services authority. They are appearing on behalf of the weaker section of authority, weaker section of society, and they do not charge single pay. Even they do not send their bills to the legal services authority. It is honors. It is their honors that they are providing these services. Still, we are not taking the services of the lawyers on the charity basis. Why I am saying the charity? Because we are taking their services not by way of the remunerations, but we are providing them the honorarium amount fixed by the legal services authority. At present, we are providing the 7,500 to the lawyers in each case as a fees in particular case. So on that basis, we are providing the legal assist, the monetary, we can say that we are providing the honorarium to the lawyers. So this is the team of the lawyers working with the legal services authority. You are aware that when the work of the NALSA has been started, the National Legal Services Authority has started organizing the meeting every year and started taking the we can say the started taking the if implementation of the legal services authority in all state. So on that basis, it was found that the services of the legal services authority should not be restricted to the code base only, should not be restricted to the code base only, because so many poor person, so many persons who are belonging to economic and social disabled category, they are deprived from the basic schemes introduced by the government. So the one task has been taken by the legal services authority, that the services of the legal services authority should not be only should not only for the code-based assistance, but it should be provided to the weaker section to connect with the government. So you might have questions. So why the legal services authority took initiative to act as a coordinator between the government and the marginalized class of society? All of you are aware that our Indian Constitution ensures to provide the to protect the rights of the senior citizen, especially the rights of those persons who are from economic and social disabled category, right from women, child, person belonging to scheduled caste and scheduled category. So these are the persons who are from disabled category, and they needs to have some special provision so that they can bring to the level of the common citizen, to the level of the status of the common citizen. So for that purpose, government has introduced a different scheme for protecting the rights of the persons. And on that basis, take an example that the government has introduced the poverty alleviation scheme. You are aware that the under poverty alleviation scheme, it has been ensured by the government, the person who is belonging to poverty, we can say the level, who fulfill the criteria for the getting benefit, he would provide the monetary assistance from the government. But the question is that the scheme introduced by governments are very good. They are really introduced for protecting the, giving the assistance to the needy person. But these schemes are not reached to the weaker sections of society. So on this basis, the Legal Services Authority has introduced the different types of scheme which ensures to fill the gap between the government and the common person. So you will find that the different types of the scheme has been introduced by the Legal Services Authority. Right from the scheme, we can say that the scheme for protecting the rights of the victims of the disaster management, as well as scheme enacted to protect the rights of the unorganized class of the laborer. Therefore, thereafter, the scheme for protecting the rights of the tribal community, scheme for protecting the rights of the senior citizen, as well as the scheme enacted for protecting the victims of drugs addictions, as well as the scheme enacted for protecting the rights of women by providing the monetary assistance, especially in POCSO cases, as well as for protecting the rights of the children. So near about 12 to 13 schemes have been introduced by the NALSA. The sole object of this scheme is to bridge the gap between government and the beneficiary. By way of this particular scheme, the NALSA Legal Services Authority does not ensure to implement any scheme, because the rights of implementing any scheme is the domain of the government. If the government is under authority to implement the scheme, by way of this NALSA scheme, we just created a platform which ensures that the scheme can be benefited, scheme can be reached to the common person. Then next question arose, then what who are the helping hand to the Legal Services Authority for bridging the gap between the governments and the common person? So on that basis, we can say the concept of the paralegal volunteers, as well as the NALSA has taken the helps from the different non-government organizations who are working for the empowerments of the women, child, and weaker section of the society. We can say that by way of this scheme, the NALSA took initiative to protect the rights of the marginalized class by ensuring that they would connected with the scheme introduced by government for upgrading their status. So by way of the paralegal volunteers, new concept came into existence. The National Legal Services Authority, by way of the paralegal volunteers rules, the training model has been introduced to train the law students, to train the retired government servant, to train, we can say that the members of different non-government organization, to train the we can say that the volunteers association of women who want to work for the empowerments of the women. So these are the different categories of the persons who are selected for the paralegal volunteers training. Especially in law colleges, it has been implemented in very effective manner. So far as in Mumbai is concerned, we reached to the maximum law colleges to sensitize the law students about this paralegal volunteer scheme, and the many law colleges have responded positively to undergo this scheme, to undergo the paralegal volunteers training. So far as the paralegal volunteers training is concerned, this is a training for the 4 days. During this period of the 4 days, you get enlightened to all the basic laws which are related to day-to-day life of the persons, right from the basic provisions of Indian constitutions, the structures of the Legal Services Authority, there are the law enacted for protecting the rights of the women, law enacted for protecting rights of the child, the rights of the under trial prisoners, concept of bail, surety, as well as the PCPNDT acts, the different scheme enacted by government protecting the rights of the marginalized class of the society. In short, these are the subject which are taught by our trained panel lawyers who are our resource person. They conduct the lectures and enlightened the participants about the basic theme of the law. Thereafter, after completing the lectures program, we are having field work, field visit to the legal services, to the paralegal volunteers, because when the paralegal volunteers is going to work in society, so they must know how the atmosphere of the prison, how the courts are working, what type of different registers are maintained in the police stations, how the juvenile justice board are working. So for that purpose, we have arranged a visit in prisons, court, police stations, as well as juvenile justice board unit, so that our paralegal volunteers would uh, know the procedures of all these government's unit, uh, with sole object when they are working for the common people, and when they have occasion to visit either of this unit, so they would not feel that it should not happen that they are not aware the procedure of their working adopted by that particular unit. So after completing this particular training, again we used to take one session of the paralegal volunteers before they actually involved in our work, because this is very important that you are working just like the national social service volunteers. Volunteers means nobody has casted any obligation on their shoulder forcefully. They chosen to do that particular work on their selves. Therefore, the word volunteers in paralegal volunteers is very important. If you want to do something for the common people, so then you should volunteer work and you should undergo the paralegal volunteer training. So far as the law student is concerned, I appeal to all of you that this is very important for all of you, because two things is very important. The first important thing is for the law college, that every law college should have the legal aid clinic and legal services clinic. Why these centers are required? Because we can say that these are the centers, these are the platform which would give an opportunity to law student to learn, to know, to have the practical trainings of about the legal services authority. When we are saying that you shall approach to the common persons, you shall interact with the litigant, you shall interact with the persons resided in slum area, you shall you shall sensitize the people, create awareness in society. So you must have some platform at college level. So by way of the clinic at service centers, these service centers and clinic established in college works under the legal services authority, and whatever the programs which has been fixed by the legal services authority, that's are implemented through college with this helping this. So I appeal to all the law colleges to establish the legal aid clinic in your college, so that the each and every student would get opportunity to work, to have an opportunity to get we can say the practical opportunity to experience with the legal services authority. The second task is for the law students, because all of you are the upcoming lawyers and judges. You are closely associated to work, or you are closely going to work for protecting the rights of the common person. So I think that you must know the we can say that you should acquaint you should learn the skill of communication. So when you are going to lawyer, you are going to be lawyers, and you are going to interact with the litigants. It is our experience that it takes 3 to 4 years for getting the proper interactions between the for taking instructions from lawyers, or for making the submissions before court, being an advocate. So I think this is a good opportunity for the you, that you can develop your communication skill if you work with the legal services authority through the clinic. Why? When you are going to interact with the common people, you will have opportunity to interact with the persons, to know the problems of the common people, to understand their case. So once you understand all these things, I assure you, when you are become judge, when you are become lawyers, you would not have any difficulties. You would be on better footing to know the problem of the common people, so that you can effectively put forth before court for protecting their right. So I appeal to all of you, please ensure that your college is having the, we can say that the legal aid clinic, as well as along with the legal aid clinic, you take initiative for organizing the paralegal volunteers training for the law student. What would be a next task performed by the the legal aid clinic set up in your college? The once you undergo the training, you may not be undergo training, but if when you are working with the legal aid clinic, then we are arranging the different camps for you in that particular vicinity. All of you are aware that the nearby of your college, there are different slum areas, there are different the groups of the persons who are from the weaker section of the society. So that we can arrange one camp, we can approach to them, we sensitize them that these are the law enacted for protecting your right, these are the scheme introduced by the government. So we can awaken them of about their rights and about the scheme, so that they would come, they can bring in the stream of the for giving the benefits of the scheme. So this is the most important benefits of the legal aid clinic which is set up in your college. So second important thing is that you should not restrict your work to creating legal awareness only, because you should learn how to interact with that particular person. So with the help of the KC Law College, we had implemented one project in the vicinity of the Haji Ali. We identified some slum areas. The clinic set up in KC Law College student undergo the paralegal volunteers training. They conducted we can say that the door-to-door campaign. They sensitize them that the in Mahalakshmi temple we are going to have one helping desk, and if you are having any problem, if you want to have any legal assistance, if you want to knock the door of the court, then you can approach to this helping desk. You would not believe that the more than 100% turn up in that particular helping desk. Now on that basis, we could able to help many of them by providing the legal assistance. Even there's some lawyers, professors who working in KC Law College, they were also part of that particular helping desk. They sat there, they provide the legal assistance. Even our panel lawyers also took their instructions, and with the help of the we have provided the assistance of the lawyers, on the basis of which some of them could able to approach before court by way of filing the petition. So friend, this is very good opportunity to all of you to work through the legal aid clinic set up in your college. I said that the your work should not be restricted to the common people only. I told you that the under section 12 there are different categories person, in which the under trial prisoners is a very we can say that the bigger class of the persons who deprived from getting the help of the lawyers. That's why the National Legal Services Authority has specially focused for protecting the rights of the under trial prisoners. So for that purpose, we have established the legal aid clinic in every prisons, that the prisons, again this prison is working with the help of the our trained paralegal volunteers, as well as the panel lawyers working with the Legal Services Authority. Those inmates who kept in prisons, they are awakened about the Legal Services Authority. If some of them are require the help of the lawyers, if some of them are not able to take services of the lawyers, then we used to provide the help of the lawyers for defending case. As a part of, I must tell you that when the Kasab was court hold and he was tried before the court, then the lawyers in Mumbai were unanimously decided that nobody is going to represent the Kasab before the court for the purpose of trial. So the big question was arise, who would act as a lawyers on behalf of the Kasab? then request came to the Legal Services Authority. Mumbai District Legal Services Authority had provided 2 lawyers. The 2 lawyers were provided had taken tireless efforts and provided effective legal assistance to the Kasab. Even their works was appreciated by the Apex Court that they have been given effective legal assistance during course of the trial. I must tell you that our criminal jurisprudence system is based on a principle that the every accused is innocence. He shall not be punished unless the charge level against him are proved beyond reasonable doubts. That's why under our Indian constitution, it has been ensured to every under trial prisoners that he would get an effective legal assistance before court. So in the legal aid clinic setup in our prisons, even on that particular platform, we are taking the help of the students, especially those students who have undergo the paralegal volunteers training. Friends, all of you are aware that the many of under trial prisoners, they are we can say their right to have the speedy trial have not been protected in effective manners due to we can say their due to overcrowdedness of the cases before court. So for that purpose, meantime, we took initiative as per directions of the NALSA, that by way of the, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're
Am
audible.
I
sir.
audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can hear
sir.
you, sir.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Hello?
Hello, yes, sir,
Hello.
we can
Yes,
hear
we
you,
can
sir.
hear you. Yeah.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. May I proceed? May I proceed?
Yes, sir, please
Yes,
continue.
sir.
Okay. So we can say that with the help of the legal aid clinic set up in prisons, we have given an opportunity to law student to know about the rights of the under trial prisoners. We have taken services from the students that they are getting an opportunity to interact with the under trial prisoners, to interact the prisoners, to know about their cases, so that with the help of the trained paralegal volunteers student, we could able to file an application. You are aware that when the accused has been produced before the court, the when court came across that the police custody of the accused is not required, in that circumstances, court takes that particular accused in magisterial custody. In magisterial custody, every accused is eligible or is entitled to file an bail application before court. When the accused filed an bail application before court and the court grant bail to that particular accused, court impose some conditions, right from providing the cash security, surety, or different type of condition for procuring the attendance of the accused before court during course of trial. But it came across that many of the under trial prisoners, they are languishing before court. Though the courts have granted bail, they are not able to fulfill the condition of bail, either due to poverty or some other justified reason. So with the help of our the legal aid clinic, and by giving opportunity to the law student, we screen the under trial prisoners who have been granted bail, but they are not able to furnish the bail. So on that basis, especially those cases, especially those under trial prisoners who are involved in less serious offenses, we screen such type of the prisoners. We have drafted the applications with the help of our panel lawyers and with the help of the law student, so that law student would also get opportunity to know what is the meaning of bail, under which section bail application is filed, what would be a ground to be mentioned in bail application, and why there is need to file an application to modify or to relax the condition of bail. So all these opportunity get to the child to know what is the provided under the law. So by way of these applications, we have provided the number of applications before court. In some cases, the court exercise discretion, relax the condition of bail. So on that basis, the indigent persons, poor person, needy persons could able to release from the bail. So in this way, the legal aid clinic has been set up in prisons, has been effectively working, and this platform is a very good platform for the law students. Friends, I told you that we should not restrict our work to the legal aid clinic only, but we shall also sensitize the common people about their uh, uh, rights. Why I am saying so? When National Legal Services Authority took survey, it was found that the more than 70% of the literate persons are ignore of of their rights. They are not aware even common provisions of the law. So the friends, this is the situation of the literate person. You can imagine at what footing there would be a status of the illiterate person. So that's why it was necessary that the whatever the laws enacted, it is necessary to bring it to the common people. It should reach to the marginalized class, so that the person will get sensitized about their rights. What would be a effect of sensitizing the common people about their rights? The most important thing is that when the person is well aware about the rights, then he can deprive from exploitation. Why there is a exploitation? When there is a ignorance of law, it is experience is that there is a more exploitation. So in order to curb this exploitation, in order to curb deprived from exploiting the persons from others, so it is necessary to know the persons about the law. That's why we have started the mission of the legal awareness. The word mission has been deliberately used by the Legal Services Authority. Why? All of you are aware that there was the mission by the freedom fighter for getting independent to this country. So in this manner, same, the motto of our mission is to know the all persons about the law, to sensitize the people about the law. That's why it is expected that the each and every members of the legal fraternity should involved in this mission, right from the law students, professors, advocates, judicial officers, volunteers, paralegal volunteers. We can say all these are the pillars of the Legal Services Authority. And I assure you that when the all stakeholders are effectively workingly are effective in are working in effective manner, there will be not a single person in this state, in this country, who deprived from securing justice. It says that the when the persons are well aware about their rights, they can able to approach the Legal Services Authority, they can able to approach the government authority for protecting their rights. So by way of the this webinar, especially on this Legal Services Authority day, I want to appeal the all law colleges, especially the law colleges situated in Mumbai, that the our motto, we are working on theme of access to justice for all. We want to reach last person in Mumbai who are in need of legal assistance. He may be from the he may be from Chembur, he may be from Dadar. We can say he may be from the different centers across the Mumbai. We are having the law colleges which are situated in different areas of the Mumbai. If you selected the slum area in that particular vicinity and start creating awareness amongst them, I don't think there would be a single person left in Mumbai who require to sensitize about the laws, who are in need of the legal assistance. He or she would approach to Legal Services Authority. So if we started this work by together, then I must assure you that we can reach to the mass of the people, and we can provide the justice in true sense to the all persons. this is very good thing that the national social service is we can say this is a big unit of the government which is having good networking in all colleges. So I must appeal to the working heads of the national social service that it should not be your work should not be restricted to create the awareness about the social services, but you also involve the legal services authority volunteers with you, so that the we can say that the empowerment of the weaker sections, empowerment of the marginalized class can be done in effective manners, and we can reach to the maximum the person, especially those persons who resided in slum area, who resided in weaker sections of the society. Friends, by on the pretext of the legal services authority day, we are having the different types of program in this week. Our programs are based on different scheme introduced by the NALSA. So we are having the coordinations with the different law colleges as well as the different non-government organizations, the different the government organizations, to see that the entire week can be celebrated as the legal services week, legal services day, and every day we can do something new so that the we can learn about law as well as we can acquaint whatever we learn about that particular law to the common person. So once again, I appeal to all of you that we have started these missions. Rather, we can say by way of the Legal Services Authority Day, the mission has been started. The all law students, according to me, is the ambassador, brand ambassador of this particular mission, because everybody is going to participated in these missions. Everybody is going to acquaint to get opportunity to acquaint the common people about the law. So friend, I request you to start acquainting your family member first, thereafter start awaking your close relatives, as well as thereafter you can also contact the persons who are residing in your vicinity. Nowadays you are well aware that due to this pandemic situation, we have to use this online platform for reaching to the common people. So I appeal to all of you, you may not be able to approach the common person in person, or if you are willing to, if you are having all precautionary measures and you are following the protocols of the COVID-19, and you can able to interact with the common persons, you can do your work. Even I appeal to all of you, you can even utilize this platform. Even you can have the webinars, you can have interactions with the through the our through this social networking site, social site, and tell them about the importance of this legal services authority day, so that we can say that there would be a access to justice in real sense, and we can say that the we can protect the rights of the weaker section in true sense, in true manner, which is expected by our Indian constitutions. Once again, I thanks to all of you. My special thanks to the Bala Saheb Apte College of Law for taking this initiative, for taking this for starting this mission, and I also thanks to all participants that the we have been by way of this webinar, I appeal to all of you that the you are now being a part of these missions, and we have to go we have to work collectively. We shall go ahead and we have to do more thing for protecting the rights of the common persons. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity, and thank you very much for patience hearing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for guiding us through the procedure and for inspiring us to get involved in order to help the society. And with the overwhelming response of more than 300 participants, we have quite a few questions with us. And with your permission, sir, I would like to invite Isha to read out the questions for you.
Thank you, Nidhi. Sir, may I start with the Q&A session? Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Hello, Gamesh, sir. I think there's some network issues.
Gamesh sir is in the waiting room actually.
Okay.
Sir, are you here? Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm there. Okay. Am I
Yes,
audible?
sir. Yes, sir. You're audible now. Sir, can we proceed with the question answer session now?
Yes, please proceed. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
We will take 3 or 4 questions. We will take much of
Okay,
your
no
time.
problem. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So the first question is from Digvijay. He has requested to give details about pre-litigation mediation at Family Court of Bandra.
Okay. So this is very good questions. That all of you are aware that when it came across that there are number of litigations before court, and it was thought it necessary to have some forum which could work like court, but but would not adopt the procedure adopted by the court. So this is very important. On that basis, the concept of the ADR came into existence. The alternate dispute resolutions, by way of alternate dispute resolutions, the Lok Adalat, mediation, as well as arbitrations, judicial settlement, these different types of the platform has been created under the alternate dispute resolutions rules, which ensures to settle the disputes amicably in between the parties. All of you are aware that the most of the cases which are coming before the court, especially those cases which are involved the matrimonial dispute, which is involved the disputes between husband and wife. In said cases, if there is intervention of some, we can say that the intervention of some authority, authenticated authority, which can settle that particular dispute without taking more time or delay. That's why the concept of the mediation came into existence. At present, in family dispute, especially at Bandra, we are having helping this, which ensure that the suppose husband and wife approaching to that particular forum with contention that they are having some dispute. So with the help of our mediator, that dispute is attempted to be solved amicably. I must say that the process is not binding on court. I again emphasizes that approaching to this forum is totally depending on willingness of the parties. Because if the party wants that there should not be intervention of the court and they should go to some forum which has authenticated by the law, then definitely they can approach to the pre-litigation helping desk. At present, this particular helping desk is working in family court at Bandra. If those litigants who do not want to approach the court, they can go there. This is regarding the pre-litigation. Simultaneously, there is also post-litigation. Why there is a post-litigation? Suppose somebody approaches to court and later on filing the petition, they decided that they want to go for mediation. Even they can approach to this particular forum. It means we can say that for the pre-litigation, for the pre-institution mediation, we can have the cases of pre-institution cases. And so far as the post-litigation is concerned, we are having the regular mediation centers. We used to provide services to the litigant.
Thank you, sir. The next question from the audience is, So what inspired you to be a part of a legal aid services?
Uh, so far as my working with the legal services authority is concerned, friends, I must tell you, I selected in the year 2006. I selected to work as a judge, and on that basis, I have undergone the training, and thereafter, I work at different places. I promoted in the year 2016. In the year 2016, I came in Mumbai as the Metropolitan Magistrate. For the period of 1 year, I work in Bandra Court, a Metropolitan Magistrate Court at Bandra. You would not believe that in my court, there were more than 10,000 cases which were coming before the court. I came across that the many cases in which the litigants involved in matrimonial disputes, when they were coming before the court, they started fighting, they started raising their voice. So obviously, I was also human being. So I also reacted that why you are taking the time of the court. There are the genuine cases in which the intervention of the court is required. You are represented by lawyers. You are not your lawyer. You are supposed to submit before court through the lawyers. You are not make submission in person before court when you are representing before the lawyers. So thereafter in 2017, when I have been assigned the task of the legal services authority, and I started working in capacity of this secretary, number of litigants started coming before me. I told you that under section 12, we ensures to provide legal assistance to the needy person. So I found that the especially those victims, those women who are the victims of the domestic violence, those victims who are residing in slum area, they started coming to my office. So I came, when I started interacting with them, then I called their counterpart. Husbands were also called for the purpose of the, we can say that it's a type of pre-institution mediation meeting. So I understand that these people are coming to the courts. They are coming to the courts for the not they really want justice. Therefore, they are coming before the court, and they are chosen these options at we can say at the last option they chosen to come before the courts. Nobody is willing to come before the courts on priority basis. So I understood that when any litigants, especially the victims of the domestic violence, said something before the court, raised the voice for her case, it is her frustrations before the court. We must understand their capacity, their mental health. In that circumstances, I learned one thing, that when I sat as a judge before court, I must understand the mindset of the litigants. They are coming before the courts with the hopes of the getting justice, and when under the because they suffered a lot, and in that particular tempo, if they said something before the court, we should not take in that particular manner. We should take it that they are saying for protecting their rights. And I learned, and I also told to my colleagues that this is a good opportunity for every judicial officer to work on this platform, to work as the secretary, so that we understood the problem of the common people. We understood the problem of the victims of the domestic violence. So I must say to all of you that I got very good opportunity, and and I must feel it happy to share with you that I am having this opportunity since last 2.5 years, and I learned so many things. I learned I have an occasion to meet very eminent personalities, and I also able to improve being a good person, not only in capacity of the judge, but also in capacity of the common person to understand the problems of the common people. So this is very great experience to work as the secretary of the Legal Services Authority.
Thank you, sir. We will take a last question. That is, what are some things about our judicial system, according to you, that the common man should know but is rarely aware of?
So I again come to the object of the Legal Services Authority. So the object of the Legal Services Authority is to create the awareness of law in common persons. So why this awareness is required? So basically it must be basically it must be remember that all these laws, take a law enacted for women, child, we can say that the poor person belonging to scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, these are enacted for the members of the society. So if the peoples are not aware about the law, so the peoples are not aware about the judicial system, they would not able to approach the legal services authority or authenticated platform in case of the violation of their rights. So I must assure you that the after getting independence, I must say that the judiciary is the is playing very vital role. You might across the many judgment of the honorable apex court as well as the high court, which protected the rights of the common citizens as well as the rights of the marginalized class. So the still common people is believe that this is the place where the person can think for securing the justice. So I feel that our judicial system is playing very vital role, and as well as the members of the legal fraternity should work hard not only to sensitize the people about their right, so that we can able to bridge the gap between the courts and the needy persons. Why I'm saying so? Because we are the volunteers, we are the coordinator. So we shall bring it to the notice of the legal services authority that yes, she is the victims of the domestic violence. Yes, she is the victims of the senior citizens has been deprived from their basic needs by the members of the society. So on the basis of your helping hand, we can able to we can say for filing the cases on behalf of these persons before the competent court, so that we can say that there will be a justice by the court in true sense to the common persons.
Thank you, sir. Since we are running short of time, I request all the participants, if they have any more questions, they may put it in our WhatsApp group. We'll request sir to address them later. Over to you, Nidhi.
Thank you so much, Isha, and thank you so much, sir, for answering and clearing all the doubts of the audience. And the feedback form will be sent in the chat box. Please check it, and once you fill the feedback form, you'll receive the certificate. Now, I would like to invite our program officer, Vishal Sinde, sir, to address the audience and give the vote of thanks.
Am I audible properly?
Yes,
Nidhi?
yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Nidhi. Honorable Principal Vaishali Guru ma'am, Honorable guest of today's session, Yatin Game sir, respected professors present in today's session, dear students and dear volunteers. I extend my best wishes on the occasion of National Legal Services Day. First of all, I would like to let our speaker know that today we have received and literally overflowing the response on this platform of Zoom. We are able to admit only 300 participants, but there are more than 150 participants in the waiting room that we can't allow. So we literally have a overflowing response. I think that is because of the name and the work that today's guest speaker has done in the field of free legal aid and legal services, and also the support extended by our principal madam and the tireless efforts for campaigning that our RSS volunteers have put for this event. Talking about today's topic, there is very less scope left for me to address the topic because learned principal ma'am, learned guest speaker for today's session, and also Apeksha has enlightened us all on the topic. But I would like to give an example of free legal aid and access to legal services. There was one thirsty kid was there, and that thirsty kid was looking for a water. The thirsty kid was wandering for water, and that kid saw a water tank. he went to that water tank and tried to get the water. There was a drinking water in the water tank. There was a water tap available also, but that water tap was on such a height that it was beyond reach of that kid. So the same kind of situation exists in the field of law and justice also. It is not sufficient, it is not enough to have the codified laws. It is not enough to have the legal institutions. We have to make these legal institutions and the codified law and the benefits of codified law accessible and reachable to each and every section of the society. That is the very purpose of the free legal aid and legal aid services. One of the purpose of today's session, that why NSS unit of national NSS unit of ABSCL on the occasion of National Legal Services Day organized this event, is that legal services are the national services. When you are doing national service, there are various things that we can do in the name of national service, and extending legal services is one of those services that we can extend to the society. Again, coming back to the example that the kid was not able to reach out the water tap. The water was available, the tap was fine, it was needed, the water was needed, the kid was thirsty, but he was not able to get the water. And we have to address this need in our society. And there are many professional institutions, many academic institutions like Tata Institute of Social Sciences. They have tried and they have taken efforts to address this need. NALSA is one of the authority to address the need. The district legal aid services are doing the same thing. They are making the water available to the kid. That is the very purpose. And in Tata Institute of Social Science, we find one course which is specialized in this field, the LLM course. It is specialized in the field of access to justice. The specialization of the LLM course is access to justice. So this is how, this is the gravity of this problem in our society. If I ask you all that do we all have the right to seek the justice, everyone present in the session would answer in positive. But if I ask the second question, do we all have the access to justice? Unfortunately, the answer of this question is no. There are some weaker sections in our society. There are some weaker sections living around us who do not have the access to the legal machinery and the law itself and the justice itself. So on this note, I would like to thank our today's guest speaker, Honorable Shri Yatin Game sir. I remember I had met Yatin Game sir in the year 2016, and I was very much impressed with the positivity and the sensitivity that he puts in his work. And I was a little bit worried about securing his time for this session. That is why I called him almost 20 days prior to this session. And right away, he consented to attend the session. And this is the level of positivity, and this is the level of efforts that he is putting in his work. And in the, as Principal Madam rightly pointed out, in the Mumbai district, the efforts taken by Honorable Speaker Yatin Game sir are remarkable. Okay, that is why he was the first person whose name popped up in my mind to invite as a guest speaker. So I extend my gratitude to Honorable Speaker Yatin Game sir. I am thankful on behalf of NSS unit of ABSCL to Honorable Principal Vaishali Gurov Madam. It is because of the constant support that our Principal Madam is extending to us that we are able to organize the sessions confidently. And I also I'm thankful to all the professors of other colleges who are present in the meeting. I'm thankful for all the students who are present in the meeting today. And I also appreciate the efforts taken by the volunteers of NSS unit of ABSCL. Thank you, everyone. Over to you, Nidhi.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would ask your permission to conclude with the meeting.
Yes,
Sure,
yes.
sure. With the permission of Principal.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Game
Yes,
sir.
please.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you
an
very much
excellent
for giving
session.
me an opportunity. It was it's a good initiative, ma'am. It's a
Yes.
good
With
initiative.
your permission, sir, would
Yes.
it be okay, because we have recorded this webinar,
Yes, yes, no
Only if you
problem.
permit, we can upload it on our college YouTube, NSS YouTube link.
Yes, 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 madam. Please,
Sure,
please,
sir.
please.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you
Thank
very
you
much,
very much, sir.
madam.
Thank you so much.
Wish you all the best. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
very
you, sir.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I would now request everyone to rise for the national anthem and keep the mics and videos off. The meeting would automatically be ended after the national anthem.